Hi, all. Thanks so much for watching Making Healthcare Work for You, Different Perspectives and Empowering Solutions. I'm Stephanie Fields, joined by my co-host, Dr. Apoorv Gupta, and today we are welcoming Matthew Zachary, who is the founder of Stupid Cancer. He said influencer of all things, 28-year survivor of brain cancer, producer of the award-winning documentary Cancer Mavericks, and host of Out of Patience with Matthew Zachary. Thank you so much for being here.
A pleasure.
We had a really amazing conversation that covered pretty much everything, I think, in healthcare. You went from the lobbyists to the actual innovations and all of the things, the future. So one of the things you were saying is the lessons that you learned along the way, and that there really wasn't any sort of blueprint. And I mean, everything's changing now and technology's changing. So there's not really, even at this point, which is unfortunate, there would be easier if there were a manual. But what lessons did you learn as you were building? You talked about not loving social media, but that at one point on Facebook, your Stupid Cancer group was really doing amazing work and getting together, not ripping each other apart or competing with one another. So what are some of those lessons that you have learned for how you guys made progress within the cancer world, and what we can do now in the broader healthcare world? Because I think at one point cancer seemed so immovable in so many ways, and just like, oh my God, what do we do? It's so big. And you found a way to do that. You found a way to make change, and healthcare is kind of in that same point. Are we doing value-based care? Are we doing this? How do we get to that point that we care about the people, which is something that you did articulate really well in your journey too, that we had to care about the people and what mattered to them, and still make the progress for them on the health front?
Empathy. There's only one word that answers every question, is a grotesque lack of and disappreciation for empathy. And I'll quantify that. I give a talk at a VBC event. I don't know why they had me there, because I think I pissed them all off, but I got on stage and I said, no one gives a shit who you are or what you do. They just don't want to die. Can we just think about that before someone gets on stage and wonkifies the crap out of a PowerPoint slide? That's what I stand for, empathy.
Matthew, that's actually the one question that was sort of on my mind, where you're taking a stand on. Stephanie and I have actually been doing a lot of shows recently about compassion and love. And, in our interview itself, you talked about an incredible range of advancements that are scientific-based labs, medicines, and just this incredible force of movement and many movements behind all of this. I guess my question to you is, in healthcare in general, do you think that we are advancing in terms of how we care for each other with respect to love and compassion for each other and for our patients? So, how do you see that empathy that you're standing for becoming more manifest in the world?
The answer is no, we're not advancing. In fact, we're receding. And I use the expression like a person is great, but people are stupid. And the same analog happens in healthcare, which is a human, a doctor, a person is a wonderful person. But the fundamental structure of the economic and capitalistic process by which healthcare is transacted is deeply apathetic, intentionally, because lawyers can't have emotions. And once there's anything that's remotely litigatable, litigious, which is you can't say the word happy in a pharma ad, you can't mandate the word how are you feeling in an ICD-10 code, then you're losing out on the opportunity to recognize that the person in front of you at the end of the pill and at the end of the data doesn't care about your profit margins and your EBITDA words. They don't care about that. They just want to be treated like a person because they're shopping in a store they never asked to be shopping inside of. And unlike retail, they can't choose what's best for them. And if they find something they like, it's someone else's determination of how much it costs them. So empathy is recognizing that no one wants to be in this place and giving them permission to be afraid and permission to be angry. But we're here to help you figure this out because you are you and you are not a breast cancer patient.
I'm going to add one more short question. I think it's short, but What gives you hope then? Because you do seem hopeful.
Honestly, I think it's that Gen X, and I mean this sincerely, is the solution to recognizing what our parents have done. Maybe not my parents, they were teachers, but collectively, the prior generation has completely bastardized this country's health economic models for profit. And our generation recognizes that it'll never be the 80s, but there were certain things we can learn from the 80s about humanity and going outside and seeing each other in person and shutting off devices. We didn't have devices, we had televisions, right? This is not like old man yells at cloud, but a return to civil social connection in real life is something that we cherish and we miss as a generation. And I'm seeing this all the time with my friends and my colleagues and people I talk to at meetings and whatnot. We are encouraging our children to go outside, to turn off their devices, that they're not special. They can fail. They can get hurt. It's okay to lose. We have to change the perspective in which we're raising the next generation to appreciate the value that online and offline can coexist, but they don't define who you are and what you do, or what you stand for, or who you care about, who you love, how you act, how you treat other people, and the impact that you want to have on the world that's good for everyone and not for you.
Thank you so much. Wise words to end the interview. We appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so very much.
Incredible. You promised this kind of an interview, which I haven't experienced. I've loved having you on as a guest. It's been incredible. Thank you, Matthew, and thanks for inspiring us.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.